My name is Peter Coles, and at the age of 33, I am able to speak 25 languages. Now, many people might question, how well can I speak these languages? But to be honest, I can speak these languages well enough to hold a conversation. I can understand what people are saying to me, and I can respond to them. That is enough to me. And if you don't believe that I can speak languages, well, just go to my page here on YouTube and check my language interviews. By the way, every language that I do an interview in, once it gets 1,000 views, I will release another one. So if you haven't seen me speaking different languages yet, just go to that playlist and watch me speak those languages. Now, the first rule I live by is speed. There was a famous guy on the internet, you probably know him, and his number one rule was speed. What does that mean? It doesn't mean to learn a language as quickly as possible. It doesn't mean to rush it. It doesn't mean to learn that language badly. No, it just means to start now. Let's say you want to learn French. Don't wait until next year to study this language. Start it now, but do it properly. Don't rush it, but do it every single day. Do it properly and you will achieve that goal. Remember, you don't have time. You think you should wait and you have lots of time in your life. You might be 20, you might be 30, you might even be 50. Okay, but why not start it now? Why not begin learning that language today and you will achieve that goal in, let's say, 2 or 3 years. If you wait another year, it will be 2 or 3 years before you reach that goal. When I was a teenager, I decided I would do this. I knew it would take lots of time. I knew it would probably take me 20, 30 years to reach this goal. But if you don't start it now, it will be another 10 years and you will start then. No, start now and play the long game. Now, the second rule I live by is that consistency is more important than intensity. Let's say you study a language for 6 hours a day, but you only do it for 1 week, you only do it for 1 month. Imagine you study this language for 1 hour a day, every single day, for 3 years. You will reach a much higher level by studying it every single day over a number of years than you will by doing it intensively. This is what I did. So 3 years ago, I decided I would learn Polish. Now, I knew it would take some time. I had an advantage. I could already speak Czech, I could already speak Russian, so I knew that this would help me. But I also understood that I needed time to do this. So I took Polish classes about 6 times a week. Now, for a lot of you, this seems crazy, but no, I understood that this level of intensity was good, but not too much. Every single day, or 6 times a week, over a 3-year period, and I would reach the goal I wanted to achieve. 3 years later, I've now achieved a level of B2. 1 hour every single day, or 6 times a week, even 5 times a week. And you can learn a language to fluency. Don't rush it. Speed is all about focus, but long-term focus. Don't wait and just get on with it. The next rule I have is discipline over motivation. If you're only focused on motivation, you will lose it sometimes. Some days you say, well, I don't want to learn a language, or I'm tired, or I'm feeling sick. That's okay. But if you stay disciplined and you understand, I have language lessons, for example, and I need to attend my lessons, even if you say 3 times a week, that is much better to be disciplined and focus on this than to say, well, I'm not motivated today, I'm not going to do it. Ignore motivation. Motivation doesn't exist. The only thing that exists for you is discipline. If you say, I will learn a language 3, 4, 5 times a week, no matter how I feel, especially if you have a language teacher, you book a class, you say, for example, me, I have Arabic class 4 times a week, only 4, that's quite a little number for me. But I study this language 4 times a week, every day. I have it at 11:30 and I go to that lesson. I never cancel it. I always attend that lesson. I don't know how long it will take me. I don't actually worry. How long will it take me to learn this language? It might take me 2 years, might take me 5 years. I'm not interested in this. I am disciplined and I will keep going with it, and eventually I will be able to hold a fluent conversation in Arabic. Laziness is your biggest enemy. What does laziness mean? It means that you don't do the fundamental tasks that you know you have to do every single day. Some days you don't feel like doing it, and that is not a problem. You just need enough tasks in your day that you can never get bored. Me, for example, I know that most days, besides Sundays, and of course, Sundays, simply my teachers don't want to work. If my teacher said, we will work on Sundays, I'll gladly work on Sundays. And that's not a problem. I study languages every single day. I have tasks most days. I have my lessons most days. I go to the gym almost every single day. Now, it might not be a serious workout. It might just mean I'm walking 10,000 steps, but I do this every single day. I might not have lessons every single day, but I study and I learn the grammar, I learn new words, whatever, every single day. And I never give up. I cannot be bored. I cannot be lazy, because every day I wake up and think, okay, I have language to learn. I have videos to make. As I said, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you'll see that I'm making videos every single day. I'm going to the gym every single day. How can you be bored if you've got tasks to do? It's impossible. I fundamentally believe that if you're going to do something, you do it right. What is the point of starting something and doing it badly? Let's say you want to learn Russian. Okay, you just go on Duolingo. This is not taking it seriously. Or you think, okay, I'll learn one new word. That's not taking it seriously. When I want to learn a language, I decide I'm going to do it. For example, I finished learning Polish, so I started learning Arabic. I do 4 times a week. Why? That's as much as my teacher can take. She's very busy. But I do the lessons 4 times a week. I study every single day. I sit at my computer. I learn the new words that we did together. I do the grammar. I learn the verb conjugation every single day. I take it absolutely seriously until I can speak that language fluently. I never give up. I keep going until the end. If you find learning a language overwhelming, well, then you should divide the huge task you have into lots of little small tasks. For example, you might think learning a language, Chinese maybe, it's incredibly overwhelming. But no, if you think I have language lessons, let's say 5 times a week, well, you just do those lessons. You don't overthink it. You don't think, oh my God, this language is so difficult to learn. No, the lessons are 5 times a week. They last 1 hour. Just do that. And for example, I learn 10 words a day. Now that might seem like a small number, but over a year, my maths is not great, but 3,650 words I've learned after a year. Now, after a year, I've learned a huge amount of words. Even for Chinese, it could be a huge amount of symbols. That is an amazing achievement. If you just focus on what you want to achieve over a week or over a month or over a year, and you focus on it every single day, you will totally achieve this. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't think that learning a language is incredibly difficult. Take it day by day, week by week, month by month, and after a year, and even better, as I normally do, after 3 years, you've learned a language fluently. Now, as I've said before, set yourself goals that aren't non-negotiable. My language classes aren't non-negotiable. If I book a class for a teacher, and for example, Arabic 4 times a week, Hungarian 6 times a week, Ukrainian 6 times a week, the time I book the class with the teacher is non-negotiable. The same thing for content creation. Every day I create videos. I upload to Instagram, upload to TikTok every single day. This is not negotiable. And the fact it is non-negotiable means I will achieve the goal much quickly. Exactly the same for YouTube. Now I'm saying I will upload videos every single week, and you can hold me to that. It doesn't matter what area of my life I'm talking about. If I have non-negotiable tasks, I will do those tasks, and eventually I will achieve those goals. This might seem simple, but most people don't stick to these principles. These principles are very simple to follow. Being motivated doesn't matter. Being disciplined matters. Being consistent matters more than motivation. Sticking to 1 or 2 tasks and focusing on them and doing them daily will reach your goals much quicker than if you have 100 tasks and you don't stick to them. If you follow these rules, believe me, you will achieve so much more. When I was younger, I said, I'm going to learn, 100 languages. This was ridiculous. And I actually got lost and I was learning, let's say, 10 languages at once. I should have really been focused on 2 or 3 languages. And if I had been focused on these few tasks, I would have achieved even more at the age of 33. But no, it took me a few years to understand this. And now in my 30s, I finally get it. And I am progressing so much more now that I'm focused on 2 or 3 tasks, do it every day. I take classes many times a week. I study every single day and forget everything else. If you can absolutely focus on a few things, and after 3 years, let's say you're fluent in one language, and then you go to the next and to the next, you will achieve so much more. And again, if you have any questions about these fundamental principles I have, feel free to write your questions down in the comments or connect to my Discord or send me a DM and I will gladly help you out. So remember, focus on what you have to do, achieve things one by one, and you will do very well in life. It's not just about languages, this is everything. This is a language page, but I'm not just talking about languages. I'm talking about lifestyle, I'm talking about business, I'm talking about money making, I'm talking about going to the gym. Focus on a few things and stay absolutely focused on those and you will achieve a lot. Good luck.